Hello everybody, I hope you're well. Today is July the 26th and we're having a story today about Joseph. Now we heard about him last week, I expect you remember, and we heard how Joseph's jealous brothers sold him to the traders. Well, they were on their way to Egypt, and when they got to Egypt, many miles away, they sold Joseph as a slave to a rich and important man called Potiphar. He was the captain of Pharaoh's guards. And there he is there, that's Potiphar, and there's Joseph being sold, and there's some of the traders and some of the other Egyptian people. Now God took good care of Joseph, and he did well. Everybody liked him. However, one day he upset Potiphar's wife, and she had him arrested and put into prison. Locked up. There she is. She doesn't look very nice, does she? And there's Joseph being taken away by the guards. And for 2 years, poor Joseph languished in prison, feeling very sad and lonely. But the other prisoners liked him and they respected him, especially because he could tell them the meaning of their dreams. And there's a picture of Joseph in prison, telling 2 of the prisoners what their dreams meant. It's a very clever thing to do, wasn't it? Now, it so happened that one morning, Pharaoh, the king, sat puzzling over 2 strange dreams that he'd had. His wise men could not fathom their meaning, and Pharaoh was very troubled by them. Suddenly, someone remembered Joseph, the man who could interpret dreams. So Joseph was brought out of prison and taken before Pharaoh. In my first dream, Pharaoh told Joseph, I was standing by the river Nile, and out of the river came 7 fat cows. Then came 7 ugly, thin cows, who ate the fat cows, but remained thin themselves. In my second dream, Pharaoh continued, 7 fat ears of corn grew on one stalk, and on the same stalk grew 7 shrivelled ears, and the shrivelled ears swallowed the fat ears. They're very strange dreams. Here's some funny little cartoons to show you those dreams. There's the River Nile, and there's the 7 fat cows and the 7 thin cows, and they are eating up the fat cows but staying very thin. That was the first dream. And the second dream was this one, and here we have lots of shrivelled ears of corn eating up the fat ears of corn. Another very strange dream. But Joseph said, 7 fat cows and 7 ears of corn mean 7 years of plenty in Egypt. 7 thin cows and 7 withered ears of corn means 7 years of dreadful famine in the land. Joseph went on, as God has told you of his intentions, you should appoint a wise man to store food during the years of plenty. Then Egypt will not perish in the years of famine. Pharaoh was so impressed by Joseph's wisdom that he put him in charge of storing the food, and he gave Joseph a ring and a golden chain and some fine clothes and a splendid chariot. There's a picture of it. And Joseph became governor of all Egypt. And he married and in due course had 2 sons, and he was honoured throughout the land. And he had great storehouses built and collected vast quantities of grain. And the 7 years passed happily. There's this great big storehouses where they put all the grain in the years of plenty. And there's the people who were buying who were helping Joseph. People came from, the 7 years of plenty passed, and then came a terrible famine. And it swept all across Egypt. Joseph opened the storehouses and people came from far and wide to buy the grain. That's the picture of them coming to buy the grain from all over the country. In Canaan, now you might remember that Canaan was where Joseph came from and where his father still lived with his sons. Jacob, his father, and his family were starving. When Jacob heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent his sons to buy some. And when they got to Egypt, the brothers bowed down before Joseph. Joseph recognized them, but they did not know him. Joseph pretended to think that his brothers were spies because he wanted to see if they were still evil. He threatened to enslave the youngest brother, Benjamin, and the brothers were distraught. Losing Benjamin would break their father's heart. The brothers begged Joseph to enslave them instead and to set Benjamin free. And then Joseph saw that his brothers had changed. He knew that they loved Benjamin and their father and would give their lives for them. So, with great joy, Joseph forgave his brothers their wickedness and made himself known to them. He told them to return to Canaan, to fetch their families and his father, so that they could all live together in Egypt. Joseph welcomed his father Jacob with a great celebration, and Pharaoh gave Jacob and his family rich lands to farm. And after 7 years, the famine ended. The people had survived, thanks to God, who had brought Joseph to Egypt. And that's our story for today. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll tell you about the little dream jar you can make in a moment. Bye for now.